Hey, this is Mike. I am in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda, and I'm super excited to show you this 2016 Honda Civic. Just got it in, fresh on the lot. Now I'm showing you the interior and exterior lighting on this particular vehicle. So this is the EX, so we'll keep that in mind. Some vehicles have different lighting situations. So here right now we have the parking lights on, and the daytime running lights are on as well. You see these bright LEDs here on the edge that look pretty cool. And they're fairly bright. I mean, they could be mistaken for headlights almost. Let's take a look around the back. You see it has a side marker there. And you have a side marker on the side of the tail light. Check out these LED tail lights. Pretty awesome, sporty, aerodynamic styling, I guess you can say. I'm definitely a fan of the new Civic, that's for sure. Now it has a combination of LEDs and regular light bulbs in there, just so you know that. So now it's time to take a look at the headlights. So it has a projector tube with a halogen bulb powering the projector tube there. For the low beams, you can see it's like a magnifying glass, and it focuses the beams in a certain pattern. You can see it's pretty sharp there. See what it looks back here. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell because we have this light up here interfering with the headlights, but this is the low beams and that's the high beams. So I don't know if you can tell. Let me zoom in on those trees because I can actually see pretty good all the way down to those trees. I'm not sure if the camera's actually picking it up though. But the high beams will give you more of a floodlight and also a higher distance and a higher up from the ground. So that's what they call them, high beams. So let's take a look at the high beams and the low beams on together. So the high beam is actually a reflector there, and then the low beam is the projector. So you have a combination of both of them when you turn on the high beams. So here's your turn signal. Pretty standard amber light flashing here in the front. And let's take a look at the back. Here we go. Now that's a amber light bulb, not a LED flashing in there, but it's plenty visible. Let's go ahead and take a look here in the trunk. And in the trunk we have a single kind of a dome light here, right here in the center, which illuminates quite well. I mean, there's a little bit of light coming in from this pole light, so you can see my shadow of my hand that's interfering, but with the naked eye you can see in there pretty good, and it's in the top center position to avoid shadows when you put things in there. So that one light actually does a pretty good job back here on the trunk. Let's go ahead and take a look here in the back seat with the interior lighting. I don't see any lights on the door. So we have the dome light illuminating the back seats back here, and the cup holders, and a little bit of the floor there. So you also have the lights there in the front that turn on when you open up the door. Let's take a look here on the driver's side lighting situation. Now I'm starting to see some backlit buttons here on the door. For your window, door locks, and side mirror adjustments are all backlit. Easy to see. Also, the button to pop your trunk there is backlit as well. There's your floorboard and seat, and the lights here in the center, plus the light in the back is illuminated now that the door's open. Okay, here we are on the inside. 2016 Honda Civic. And a lot of backlit buttons and colors. Looking really good. And some ambient light and just strategic situations. So really awesome. So I've got some light coming in from this direction. I try to block it with some shades there and here to really give you the actual lighting of the vehicle as much as possible, but I'm going to try to do my best on that. So let's go ahead and you see you have a backlit button over there for the traction control, but let's take a look at the steering wheel. You have the backlit buttons for your Bluetooth and your controls for your menu system, and your cruise control there on the right. And when you start the vehicle, it actually turns this button red. So once you're started, the button becomes red, but before that it's like a whitish color. So here's your gauges. Really easy to read and see. They're really just perfect for me. I mean, you can adjust your brightness up and down like so. You got a really super bright, and then you got like a really dim, but right in there would probably be good for me anyway. And it's an all digital display there in the center. This center part is not actually a gauge, it's digital. So let's take a look at your center stack here with your touchscreen. And man, it's just really the clarity and the colors of the screen, it looks awesome. Let's hit the home button so we can see what all that looks like. Looking good. There's your four-way flashers. This red button up here is your four-way flashers. Go back home there. So down here is some climate control. Also, when you push this button, is climate control. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, very easy to see. You have your temperature and fan speed and all that stuff down here. So your little storage cubby under here has some ambient light. So I don't know if the actual camera is picking it up. Let me put it on night mode so we can see what I'm talking about. So that's the little cubby. So I don't know if you can actually see that little ambient light. Plus, the little cubby on the underside has a little bit of ambient light as well under here, so you can actually see that spot. But I'm not sure. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. I can't. It doesn't look like it is. So hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. So here's your shifter. You have everything backlit there, your brake hold and your parking brake. But you notice there's a little bit of blue lighting down here. That's actually coming from up here. There's a little ambient blue light that kind of gives you a really soft light in the center of the vehicle, just so you can get your bearings. If it's super pitch dark, it's not very bright, so when you have a little bit of light to deal with, you don't really notice it. But when it's super pitch black dark, that little blue light will really help you out with getting your bearings in the vehicle, and it'll really kind of give you just enough to actually look around without messing up your night vision. Okay, so over here the center console is all dark. Now let me just turn the night vision on so you can see what I'm talking about. You've got your center console with your cup holders and stuff like that. It's all dark in there, but of course most of the time you're going to turn on your interior light anyway when you're going through stuff like that. And speaking of that, that's right up here, and there's a tap light, so you can turn on the lights there individually. And this button, you can have it to where the doors actuate the interior lighting, or you can have that off. And there's a button in the back dome light as well. So those are easily turned on and off just by tapping them. And then the visors have a mirror with lights in them. So just in case you needed a light to look at yourself, that's how you do it. Alright, there you have it. 2016 Honda Civic at night in the EX trim level. Really awesome inside and out. I'm super impressed with this vehicle. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or anything, oh yeah, almost forgot, glove compartment. Nothing in there, no lights in there. And same thing with the 16 Accord. So, and you know, yes, I have the headlights on. So some people were kind of surprised at that, but no lights in the glove compartment. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so there you go. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.